Welcome, we've come back in from the elements down at Peninsula Wildflowers and we're going to take a look at what will be in your workshop in a box. So inside each of the boxes will be a vase. They will all be a little bit different in their design, but similar size. You'll also get a pair of snips to do all your cutting and pruning, and you'll get instructions which will all be inside the box, but there'll also be a link on the screen that if you require more information, just click the link. Let's have a look at the varieties. First up, we're going to start with some foliage elements to create a great base. You just want to cut a few of the stems to add more volume and fullness as you're positioning the other flowers. This gorgeous little foliage is called Eriostemon. It's actually recently gone through a name change. I'm unsure of the name, but we'll put a little comment in the Facebook group. So you want to make sure you create a really nice rounded collection of foliage to start with. A good base will create a great arrangement. The arrangement's going to be 360, so it will be viewed from all angles. So turning the vase a little bit as you're going will actually add ease in your symmetry with creating the, working with the flowers. The next flowers we're going to position are the Peroteas. The Peroteas need a little bit of work done to them to be able to highlight the beauty within the flower. So what we're going to do is actually condition some of the foliage off by removing and stripping back. Just cut the stem, and then just with your hands you can either pull down or use the secateurs to snip off the individual leaves. You want to do this to all of the stems. Just leave a few of the leaves around the top. There's nothing worse than a naked flower. Once you've done that, then you can start adding them amongst the foliage. So this variety is named Pink Ice. needs a turn. Next we've got a beautiful protea, and this one's called a mink protea, a white mink. So again, just trim the stem and remove the lower section of the foliage. Anything that's going to be in the water source, you don't want any leaves. Natives traditionally give off a lot of natural oils and it discolours the water really quickly. So next we're going to have a play with the candles. So the candles that all come in different designs, they're naturally grown, so they have really quirky elements. So they can be seen as a quite challenging flower to arrange with. Most people have a love-hate relationship with them. I love them for their golden structure and just they're really the detailed elements that are within each of the candles. So with these, they work best sort of nestled amongst on the edge, but you always need to cut the stem to open the water source. And then just naturally give it a little bit of a twist and insert it amongst the other blooms. We've got the fantastic gum, which is going to add some really nice nutty sort of elements to the flower arrangement. What we're going to do though, we're going to strip it back. So we need to remove all of the sections off this main stem to create shorter pieces. And then by removing the leaves, it exposes these wonderful little dancing gum nuts on each of the stems. So these elements are going to be nestled again. Give it a little twist to get it in amongst the flowers. So continue doing that to all of your other stems. Again, if anyone needs some extra help during this, there'll be a link to the Facebook group where you can ask questions and join the chat. Oh, my hands aren't working. Some of you floral designers might choose to not strip back the little gum nuts off the stems, but that's the beauty of your personal likes and dislikes of what you want to do. Add your own style and flair to what you're building. Just on this side here. Well, lucky enough, the season is just about to start with these beautiful prints, which are mini king proteas. They are stunning in their colour on the outside, and they've got some gorgeous texture within the leaves around the outside. You want to just remove a few of the lower leaves, because that will just sort of inhibit you when you start putting the stems with the other stems, now that we're getting a little bit more volume within the vase. And again, just cutting the stem in on an angle. And I'm just going to nestle him in amongst the candlestick and that mink, just like that. We're also lucky enough, the Blushing Bride, which are one of my favourite flowers, is about to start the season. These gorgeous little dancing light flowers have some really beautiful velvet elements when the flower opens in the centre. Quite special. So again, just trim to reduce the height and then gently just nestle it amongst the other blooms. If it needs a little bit more support, you can always twist it around the foliage elements so that it has some support. Next, we're going to work with the leucadendrums. You'll all get a beautiful selection of the season's best inside the box, and we've got some great colour varieties that are coming through. This one here is called a Sylvan Red. The leucadendrums are actually a really fun flower to work with, because the foliage, when you strip it back with your hands, kind of feels really satisfying to sort of, you know, run your hands down that stem. These leucadendrums, once they're added with the rest of the flowers, is going to add the beautiful definition to this arrangement and really round off and fill in the blanks between the other varieties. Again, if you're finding that you're challenging yourself with getting the stem in, just give it a slight twist and it'll easily just pop in amongst the other blooms. Again, give them a cut and in it goes. Turning the vase a little. The leucadendrums also help to blend all of the beautiful colours, sort of it fills in those colourways in between the blanks. Awesome, and then the last one. The final element that we're going to curate and put into this arrangement are the amazing dried seed pods that we've picked when we were with Marty on the farm. So these are last year's seed pods, or the proteas that have been left naturally to dry on the trees, and they create such amazing architectural elements, and just it makes you really appreciate the life cycle of the proteas. If you want to, you can trim back some of the outer petals, which basically sort of neatens them off a little bit and just adds a little bit of a sort of curated element to them. But it's up to you with how you want to play around with them. That's one option. You can leave them natural, like these ones here with the extra added stems, or you can trim them back really hard so that there's no petals exposed. But again, up to you. Choose your own adventure. They're a bit harder to cut, so you'll need to use your muscles. And again, these don't necessarily have to hit the water, but you can have them positioned a little bit higher. So if you've got any little holes or blank spots that you want to fill in, they're great for that. And the last one. Let's give it a little wiggle. And there you have it. That's our workshop in a box today. I hope you've been able to keep up and create this amazing little arrangement with the thanks to Peninsula Wildflowers and their beautiful farm down here at Bonio.